like that. You cannot do that anonymously. A lot of games will allow you to just like get the server files whether or not you own the game. Because the game is not out, this is something I was talking to the member about the other day. Because the game is not out, you cannot do a login anonymous, so you do have to own a key to the game, whether that's through a giveaway or backing on the Patreon, and then you'll be able to do a server. When the game comes out, you'll be able to do login anonymous, so it'll be totally open
That's
to
cool.
everybody.
I was just hoping to run a dedicated server in it. I run a server in Rising Storm, basically, which is quite a successful one. And hoping to move into this when it comes out, because obviously Rising Storm's dying off slowly.
Technically, you can do it right now.
I want to play it, yeah.
Because there's just no. I mean, like, okay, you know, we get asked this question a lot about like people on servers, yada yada. Like, obviously, right now we're only seeing players in play tests. That is like the only time that's really worthwhile to play the game. It's still very early. There's still a lot of missing features that we don't have in place. We did the math the other day. All in all, globally, out of all of the people out there that could potentially have a game, through the Patreon and through keys we've given away, the Patreon has like 2,000 people total globally that could have gotten it, and there's like a good 400 or so of them that haven't even claimed their key.
I honestly think with the decline at the moment with Rising Storm, you're going to be looking at a lot of people moving over from there as well. There's the numbers are declining, and I think a lot of people are looking to move out because with Tripwire's recent updates they've been less than palatable, let's just say. Sure. And yeah, people feel very let down in the Rising Storm community at the moment, so people are looking for somewhere to go, and this sort of seems the kind of game that people have been crying out for, because I mean there's
I suspect
about Squad recently, but
I suspect that'll be the case with games. I mean, this is going to be free, fully modifiable version of many games that y'all are familiar with. Like, we may not have their full catalog of content day one or into the future. Our main focus is the modding potential, the framework, getting all those things ready so that the community can kind of run servers in their communities exactly. So,
keep it infantry even.
Well, there's going to be land sea there. I mean, there's plans for the full-blown combined arms spectrum. Now, if you want to run a server, that's just infantry. Go for it. Like, that's the point, right? It's all your choice, right? It's all whatever you want to do. If you want to run on just an infantry-only server, do it. You know, like we're not going to stop you.
Speaking of combined arms and adding vehicles in the future, are you guys going to be adding like closer support, like player controlled? And
yeah, it's all going to be player controlled. Now, there is bots and AI coming. Like, that's actually being worked on right now. And I'm sure there will be player controlled and AI controlled. But the idea is that it's all player controlled, like Project Reality.
Yeah,
exactly. No, Lithium, bro. I asked you.
Still in the naughty table. Or naughty.
If I'm asking you to do that, please just listen. Like, had plenty of opportunities.
Thinking about it, how are the modding tools for like servers and all that?
Oh, it's like a
taking
full
advantage. Okay.
Oh, like server admin tools.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like a big focus for us is making sure that server admins have all of the controls that they need. We have the basics in right now. You can kick and ban basic Archon stuff. Eventually, we're going to expand that system, though, and add in more features for server owners to kind of like protect their community and make sure everything is secure.
Now I'm just curious. I don't know if you guys have any plans for this, but will we have the ability to add scripts to servers, like custom scripts?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyone
I guess
with a
it
certain
depends on
clan
what you-
tag is one side. I don't know. That's just an example.
Oh, I mean, I don't see why not. Yeah, like the SDK isn't gonna have scripting support
Like no
off the
WoW
bat.
scripting.
Off the bat. It
Okay.
will later. But that you can do. I don't know if you can do that in we do plan on having systems and stuff for clans and all that kind of stuff. Kind of, I like to often show reference to like units, if you're familiar with that website, where people can make their units on a website owned by Bohemia, and it actually integrates with their launcher. And,
I've actually the Drakeling went through that.
Right.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're
So
talking about.
we want to do something similar to that, but we want to like expand it further and have it like be possible for like content creators. So if like 2 creators want to get on and say, yeah, I want my subs to fight your subs, or whatever, right? They could do that.
That's dope to hear. All right, that's cool.
Those textures are really good. I see
Yeah,
the
not
flood,
gonna
but man, what the fuck? Should start looking
This
closer
map
to
is
it.
gonna be
Those
very
water
pretty when it's
reflections
done.
look good.
Yeah, I can't wait until this map is further along.
Yeah,
And obviously you can see we're using a lot of placeholder stuff right now, like World War II models for the soldiers. 'Cause we actually have World War I character models in progress, right? Actually, the upcoming dev blog in about a week or so will have screenshots of that. So we do have custom character models in the works right now as we speak.
Very exciting.
ISNC guys are working on that. They're probably going to wind up redoing all of our old ones too, like Gulf War and all that kind of stuff. So we'll have new ones.
You may
Oh
very
yeah,
like,
about the Gulf War, we'll be actually having a different faction because obviously the Russians didn't fight in the Gulf War.
Well,
Yeah,
it's a fictionalized scenario. The idea is like it's like coming off the tail end of the Afghan War, a fictional
Source reality,
scenario where
basically.
there's still Russians in the area, and the U.S. and them butt heads, right?
Okay, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so that's the idea of that. Yeah, we'll make it more proper later. That's definitely doable.
I don't think it's
without
necessary.
SDK, right?
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like I shared a screenshot of that earlier. There's going to be nothing stopping people from either making the proper like Iraqi faction or whatever, and putting that onto a map like CAFG or any other kind of Gulf War themed maps or anything like that. That's going to be very, very easy to do. So even if we don't wind up getting to it, it'll be done some way, shape, or form.
you guys would have already talked about this, but I'm just gonna ask: is like a better bolt animation gonna end up coming in at some time, or is this
Yes,
gonna be like
the bolt actions. This is why I saved these maps for last, because they're definitely the most incomplete. The bolt actions, there's still like animation work that needs to be done with them. The reason that they're very slow in terms of like timing is because apparently if they made them any faster, it would like break the system like that. Like so the animations just need to be redone. They just need to be.
That's pretty interesting.
I have an idea.
Yeah,
Just make it
we've talked
really.
about it pretty extensively.
You mean break the balance?
No. Like apparently, if I like was to go in there and try and update the timings on the bolting and all that kind of stuff, just because of the way that the animations are done,
Right.
it would effectively like break that whole system. I don't know. I've never tried it, so I don't really know what
Yeah.
it looks like.
Hey,
But
we
that's
did
what I
not
keep
try it,
being
right?
told. So yeah,
You guys have
Essentially
like
because
a
it's
test
attached
build?
to the animation, and if they
I
try to
have
change the
access
fire
to the
rate,
internal SDK, so I could go in there and like.
Yeah, I want to see it.
But
If it does
yeah.
break, I want to see it because that'd be interesting to watch.
Yeah, I'm actually not sure how.
Just put it on like the Patreon, you know? I mean, people understand.
Yeah.
I hope.
I got a question about a little bit more into the future, but how would you guys go about like improving the audio? Would you guys like do it on your own, or would you like outsource that?
The audio is like very work in progress right now. Like we actually just started sourcing a lot of new audio from a website called Boom Library. That is actually the library that, if you guys are familiar with the SOG Prairie Fire Creator DLC that just came out for Arma. I know the owner of that studio, and he actually sent me the website that they used, so we're actually using the same site as that.
Oh, that's awesome.
What we need right now is we need like a good sound engineer that knows how to work in Unreal Engine 4. That's like the major thing, because it's one thing to get the audio in, it's another thing to like get someone to really like equalize it and make it sound really good, you know. So right now you're hearing a very large combination of like placeholder sounds mixed with like unmixed, unbalanced sounds, and you know, things like that. So the audio is very, very work in progress. Yeah.
Once again, it's very cool because, you know, I genuinely enjoy the SOG Prairie Fire mod. And what I genuinely liked was the sound design, so it's actually good to hear.
I spoke to him about that, so they hired JSRS, Lord Jarhead, for that.
Oh,
really? Oh, wow.
Yeah, he has some great sounds as well. That's cool.
I mean, he's the best.
Actually,
man.
makes
Let's
sense.
be real, he's the fucking best, right?
Yeah. Makes sense, because, you know, that game
so
was
they literally replaced every single sound. Like I talked to him about it. He like literally shared his like spreadsheets with me and everything. Like they replaced every single fucking sound, and they worked with him to balance all of them out. That's why that game just sounds so fucking good. It sounds fucking good. So,
I didn't know JS Starhead worked on that. That's dope.
He
I
worked
always
on
have his
Clear.
mods. It's that good.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Are you guys on Core
So you don't
or
need
on
to
the
run
test
JSRS on the Prairie Fire thing because it's already there.
It's already there.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
funny.
You guys on the test environment or just regular OHD?
No, we're just on main branch.
All right, all right.
My favorite things about games like these, and like with JSRS, and also like games like Postscriptum, was the audio quality. It's just like
Yeah, Squad and OWI Core has a very phenomenal soundstage.
I found that about Armor was the audio was unpolished. I felt.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
The
but if you
JSRS
run
did that.
JSRS and like, there's other mods like Enhanced Soundscape and
Dynasound.
there's some other utility ones that will help with all that. It sounds very nice. Yeah.
Well, conversely, I think a lot of games, especially console ports and things, have way too much wumpy compression on them.
Yeah, JJ.
I mean, they have to have
limitation and stuff.
compression.
Oh yeah, because most of them are being played through like TVs and stuff, and you need to hear like the
Also,
entire. Sort of,
not only that, but the processing power. It's not there to decompress. You know what I mean?
yeah, I know, but there's no real what's the word dynamics to the sound. The quiet parts are really loud, and the loud bits
I
are
agree.
mediocre. And
Yeah,
it's
again.
I-
Anybody remember the old Project Reality? Project Reality sound mod? The Andrews sound mod?
I have that for Insurgency. It's hilarious. Like they even play the
Oh, yeah, it's on Insurgency, yeah.
It's a good meme. I liked it. It was cute. Reminds me, I should play that game. And they actually had a lot of stuff to PR. Like it's still being developed, which I thought was awesome to hear.
PR's one of those special games.
Yeah, as Blue Drake said it, one of the best games to exist. I could not disagree with him anymore.
Yeah, so
Broke
that's
down.
kind of the whole. Oh my god, am I Is anyone else bugged again?
Yeah, I'm bugged.
Yeah.
I'm not. What's the bug?
Travel, calf. Like I'm getting stuck, not just
Oh.
like
Stuck at the spawn
looking at.
screen.
Yeah, I just reset the map, so I'm probably gonna get booted here. Maybe it's something with CAFG. I don't know. CAFG. If you guys look at it on test environment, anyone who has that installed, the level design guys like completely swapped out all the terrain and redid a bunch of the lighting and stuff. So it should run a lot better and differently on that. Yeah, I just fucking.
Can you repeat that? Did you say the sound guys?
The level design guys.
Oh, I heard sound like what? I got confused.
I might have.
I was like, oh, I didn't know you guys are so.
So I got stuck again.
Yeah, me too. My game crashed though, and I just relaunched and joining the server again.
How did that happen? Is there any suicide command? Kind of like how you can do it.
Yeah, hit M and press suicide. Oh my god, this fucking
there it
layout,
is.
man. This.
You gotta get rid of
I'm gonna go ahead and server. I'm gonna restart this one more time so we get a different layout. I'm like getting really sick of playing this fucking industrial yard layout.
I don't blame you. I mean, isn't this like the first maps when you like started marketing it heavily?
Dude, what the fuck is wrong with this? Okay, there we go.
Is this supposed to be like Fallujah?
No, this is CAFG.
Oh, okay.
CAFG is a real place.
Is there supposed to be an icon on screen that shows up when I talk?
Yeah,
In-game?
it should show up on the left side. Oh, I realized. Stop screaming. The way the VoIP works is it is tied into whatever your default Windows device is. So if it's not working for you, you might want to double check that. I spent like 2 months talking through my fucking VR headset mic and not realizing. So I suspect that happens to a lot of people. We don't have the option in the settings yet for you to choose your device through the settings. So for now, it's just the Windows default.
I have a similar scenario with the webcam, so yeah, it's
if your webcam has a mic, that happens to a lot of people as well. They'll be talking through that and they'll wonder why they're quiet or it's not picking up or whatever. That's exactly why. So,
you know, you're yelling and everyone's complaining in your house.
Yeah, that's definitely the problem, so I'm gonna switch it anyway. There's only one microphone I want to use, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's working now.
I like this little plaza.
Yeah, dude, the market's pretty nice to defend.
Yeah, all the buildings that are surrounding it too. I don't know. Everything about this is cool.
Yeah,
I
every
just love how you
single
can go
one of the
into-
buildings is fully enterable. Yep.
Yeah, that's the best part about this.
Yep.
Design for this
I love
map
it.
especially is nice.
And that's how all the maps will be. Eventually, we'll probably be able to procedurally change, like maybe we'll have some of the buildings have some doors like blocked or something like that, you know.
That's a good idea.
It's theoretically possible, so
So wait, when you just restarted the map, we could play this same map on 2 different sides essentially.
The different
well, I restarted the map because if you look at the way the flags are laid out, we have different layouts.
Right. So you can be on the whole, like we're on the left side of the map right now, and the last time I think we were on the right
This
side.
is the biggest map, yeah. This is a
Right.
4x4 kilometer map. If you zoom out all the way, I mean, you can pretty much see. There's actually more to this map we just have it blocked off.
Right.
Because we're, again, we're trying to be considerate of the fact that we don't have vehicles in yet. We used to have bigger layers, but it would just be fucking running simulator the whole time. So for now, we're just gonna do the infantry stuff just to keep it consistent.
Has anyone seen the oh wow, No More Room in Hell 2 preview? It looks terrible.
Really?
It looks really bad.
I didn't play the first one, but I played a good amount of Contagion. That game is.
They've been working on it for a while, and they just released an alpha trailer the other day, and it doesn't look any different from like the one they released like 8 months ago.
Look at this little fucking guy hiding up here.
Fuckers on the roof.
Yep, I am. Yeah, we're taking it. Can't do anything.
Wow, you guys camped the market pretty quickly. Damn.
Yeah, I got a good
Is there like a revive system in yet, or is that like working?
Not yet. We're currently writing our game design documents for all that stuff. So we
Fun
will
stuff.
have that in the coming months. Yep.
What about like body drag like what Squad introduced? And
that's part of the game design thing that we're talking about, because if you do it with like a ragdoll, it gets a lot more complicated because of networking around the ragdoll.
Oh wow.
So half of I don't know. We're kind of determining if we want to like do a placeholder system where it's more like Arma, where they're kind of in a static animation on the ground and you can like lock in to a carry thing. I personally wouldn't mind that. For me, it's like more about the utility, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't really, at least for now, like we have so much placeholder shit. Like it doesn't need to look pretty.
We need two players that are holding a stretcher and they can run up on the guy on the ground.
Yeah, I don't know. Blue really wants the ragdoll. I come from Arma.
I think the Arma thing works really well. Like, what ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think playability is probably the most important factor.
That's what I said. Yeah, like does it work?
If it's a static body, you could do more with it too if you wanted to.
Exactly. So, and the other thing with ragdoll, and I've seen this happen in Squad, is like you'll have a ragdoll fall down like a staircase, but for some people they're like at the top of the stairs. And for other people,
that's super
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know
And
exactly
it's
what you mean
like,
playing a medic.
In Arma, you never have that. You never have it. They are exactly where you see them. It's never different. It's totally perfect.
I'd have people falling through floors and then trying to figure out which floor they're on, because the voice would be on the second floor, but their body would be on like the first.
Yeah, exactly.
So weird.
Exactly. So.
And that's why I use Task Force Radio.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I was talking about like Squad and Postscriptum and how they have it.
Yeah, so it's coming. That's the plan. We're talking about doing things like if you're, you get shot and you're down at 10% or whatever, you're gonna go into a limp animation, things like that. When you're in a down state, we'll have things like dead. You get shot in the head, you're dead. That's it.
Nice. I'm very mad that
shot in the torso and you get, you hit the threshold for being in an incapacitated state. We're talking about how we want to handle, like, how do you go from incapacitated to dead? And I don't know, my suggestion was just like, if you're incapacitated and you take any more damage, you should probably just die. but at least until we have a more complicated medical system, like in Arma, in Ace Advanced Medical, they have the different wound types, avulsions, velocity,
different bandages,
wounds,
and all the
crushed tissue. Like they have, and so if you're on the ground incapacitated and you take a round, it's more sophisticated, so you can afford to take that damage depending on the type of damage. So
you guys are looking at doing that sort of revive system where it's like the Ace Medical almost.
I mean, as with some of the things we talked about earlier, it's about customization and configuration, right? So I think that the question is really more like, how advanced will we make it, and where will we draw the line with official servers? But if we officially say we're like kind of more basic. Oh my god! I just saw that guy jump off the roof trying to land on that balcony. It was funny as fuck.
We gotta get through here.
If we want to go more basic officially, perhaps there's still the options for the people who want like the really hardcore.
I think that would be the best option. Like keep it.
I
basic
like
for
Ace
the
Advanced
official
Medical.
Yeah, but like appealing to a larger player base, though, it'd be easier to just have it.
That's the thing, though. It's all about appeal. When people actually start using it, they realize it's not that complicated. Like,
okay,
I agree.
Like everyone I talk to that's like, no, I don't like that. It's like, well, have you used it? No, it just sounds complicated.
Yeah, I've used it a lot, but it's just
complicated.
So
I will not deny though, when I initially use it, it looks complicated. It does sound complicated, but it's one of those.
But
things
if
where
you give it a
have to
couple
use
games,
as you mentioned, yeah, exactly.
It's not that bad, right? Like
it's very easy.
It's one of the hardest things about the hardcore community. There's a lot of people that don't want to step out of their comfort zone.
Stabilize and pull them out of combat. That's it, right? You don't have to have the perfect bandage for every wound, right? I get people get in their head about that, and they're like, "Oh, well, I don't know what bandage to use." Like, doesn't matter.
Elastic.
Put it on there and
like,
move
dude, just
them.
slap a
Move
tourniquet
them,
on them and
right? Get them out of
back
danger.
in the fight.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I don't know. We're still kind of figuring out how we want to balance all that, but I think ultimately we're going to want to at least have the option.
Well, if you do that, then it'd be extremely difficult with Ragdoll then. Like, trying to actually get all like in place. I feel like the static body thing would be way better.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just regardless would make it easier, So, I think you could have both, personally. We'll see.
I have a question.
I need a futuristic hardcore shooter where, like, when someone drops... Go ahead.
See, what I want in my realistic shooter is when my character dies, I actually die. Like I'm attached to like a chair.
In real life.
Well, it literally comes through the screen.
Yeah, I mean, that's even better. I didn't think of that.
Someone else had a question. What was
My bots.
What was your question?
When?
I didn't even have a question. I was just making a stupid joke. It's fine.
I have a question, though. The other guy doesn't want
I said I need a futuristic hardcore shooter where when someone's down, I just pick up their head and put it in a capsule, and then I take it somewhere.
Yeah, and what even be better
stick it
if
on
you
another
can talk in
body.
a capsule,
And there are robots
Shit's
that you can
muffled.
attach their heads to, like Futurama.
One thing on medical that'll be coming soon, it's actually already in the test environment. So the way that the damage works is it's based off of the so our character models are composed of bones, right? And when I say bones, I mean like there's a head bone, a body bone, an upper arm, a lower arm, your hands, your thighs, your calves, your feet, the ball of your feet,
penis,
things like that. We actually just expanded that for the test environment, and it'll be coming to main branch as well. So every bullet has a damage value, and every bone has a multiplier. So if you get shot in the body, it's a 1 times multiplier. So if the bullet does 34 damage and you get shot in the torso, you're going to take 34 damage. If you get shot in the head, and we have it as a 3x multiplier, you take 34 times 3. That's the damage that you receive. You have 100 health points, right? So now we've added in the upper arm, the lower arm, the hands, the thighs, the calves, the 2 components of the feet, and all that. And those are all on less than 1 multipliers. So your
There's
arms
one
will now
building
do
here
half
that's floating.
damage. There's going to be a lot of floating buildings.
I figured.
That's a pretty cool
Yeah.
base damage model.
This is the only one I found, I think. Well, at least for me.
That makes a lot of sense.
What did you say about the damage model?
That makes a lot of sense since if you don't have bones, you can't really walk or, you know, use your arm and stuff.
Yeah.
Octopuses
Well, that's just
have
the
bones.
terminology for it. Is that because right now, if I shoot you in the foot, it's gonna do 1 times multiplier. So you're gonna get shot behind cover and die faster than you probably should be because like your foot's sticking out or something like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Whereas in the future, in an upcoming update, if your foot is sticking out and you get shot in the foot, it's actually only going to do a quarter, 25% damage. So things like that.
Speaking of health and stuff like that, what's the word on like smoothing out the death transition thing? Like, cause right now when you get killed, it's immediately a black screen. You are dead.
I don't know about the black screen for now, but we are looking at effects for like when you're taking damage. So you will know at some point in the relatively near future when you get shot. I don't know about the death screen. We'll visit that when we see how that goes. Go ahead and put it on Fallujah.
Hey man, we're mercenaries. We have money to actually fund ourselves. Remember to pop smokes, those
By the way, when is the test environment stuff going to be implemented into the main version? Probably when it works, but is there...
I don't know yet. We're talking about that behind the scenes right now.
Yeah,
I think once I finish off doing the recoil and rate of fire stuff for the rest of the weapons, that's probably when we'll look at it more, but that depends, because that's a manual thing that the lead programmer has to do.
smokes,
So,
guys, unless you want it shot in the
I
head.
don't
trying to
know if
point.
he has something in mind for when he wants to do that or not. So I'll have to talk to him about that.
Yeah, of course.
For gore to be in the game, wouldn't you have to design it from like the ground up? Or is that something that can be implemented? Like you know, limbs being busted off?
I don't know. I don't know enough to answer that question.
Me
but, I would say that probably not that difficult. I mean, we use the standard Unreal Engine mannequin for the skeleton rigging, so about as hard as it would be, I guess, to put a system like that on that skeleton.
Say, because you're talking about the damage points, like you know the multipliers.
Yeah, that's where I don't know. That's where
like
I don't
it'd be
know what to factor in.
It's not like an idea like I expect you to do.
That would be the main hurdle to get over with networking all of them.
Is what?
Network.
Sorry to barge in, but how do you send a support ticket? Because I just found a bad, nasty little bug. It's a bit more of an exploit than a bug. Yeah, I'm
Aren't you in the
Drinking
Discord?
Lamps
Go
Discord.
file it in that.
I'll put it right now.
section
Essentially
down below.
is the smoke. You can see the insurgent spear.
Yeah, you can
through
see the
smoke
beard
clearly.
through it. Yeah, we know.
Oh, okay. So that's known. Alright.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a known bug or not. Alright, it's good to know.
It'd be cool if like you had that multiplier and you get hit in your arm, but if you get hit a couple more times in your arm, like you virtually just can't use the arm, so you need to pull out a secondary by choice or something. If you don't heal up. Really random idea, but
Have you played Tarkov?
We'll have to see when we get there. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's what reminds me of. I'm assuming that's where the inspiration's coming from.
Oh, is that in Tarkov actually?
It's not really from.
Not
I don't
really?
really
Okay.
take much inspiration at all from that game, to be honest.
Fair enough. The reason why I mentioned it is because they do have modular damage, like you have arms, legs, torso, head. that kind of stuff.
I just refer to Ace Medical
Ace,
for
yeah,
pretty much all that stuff because it's the most realistic out there. So
It is the most realistic out there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Tarkov is. I don't know. Everyone's drank the fucking Kool-Aid on that game, so. You know.
I mean,
still haven't played it.
yeah.
Everyone thinks they have the best guns. I disagree, man. I don't know. Like, I
This
think they
gun
got
is
the
the
best,
gun you
I
enjoy
think they
using
got
the
the best customization, but in terms of gunplay, I disagree.
Oh
with
yeah,
that,
gunplay
so,
is
I don't
too
know.
arcadey. It's not hardcore at all.
I mean, it's they auto compensate when you shoot.
Yeah, that too.
Like,
That's why I say
Is
it's
it really
to have
arcadey? Because like when you're watching videos of that shit, it looks
It's
like
not.
impossible.
I don't know that I would say it's arcadey, but like it's like the auto compensation thing. Like you can take your mouse off the desk and fire, and you'll always return to exactly where you were before you started firing. So if you understand how to time the recoil, there's no skill. You just have to sit there and tap, tap, tap. Whereas if you, like, for example, you can go up to a wall on our guns. I know our guns are easy to control. That's intentional because guns are not hard to shoot. But you have to compensate yourself. If you go up to a wall and you take your mouse off the desk and start left clicking, you're not going to return to where you first started clicking, right? Plus we have like the kind of built-in slight dead zone effect going on as well, so you're never really like center of screen.
Oh, I love that. Free aim. I love that. I love that in
Yeah,
games. It needs to be in more games.
Yeah, so we have like it's a very subtle system that we use. It's not like too exaggerated.
Yeah, it's not as obnoxious.
I like
as,
that
Rising
because
Storm, but it's still fun.
if you have test environment, go fuck with the assault rifles on test environment in the training grounds map, and you'll see how all the movement recoil is. It's not hard to shoot guns, but if you really want to be accurate, you're gonna have to learn every gun. You're gonna have to sit
Except for
there
the
and get
for an
familiar.
upcoming update to the game.
Yeah, this is all on test environment. Yeah, and in fact, I can actually go ahead and just stream that for you right now.
No, that's great. That just lessens the
Gladly.
spam of a long-range engagement constantly. That just makes it better.
I think it's going to be good because like it's not hard to control the guns, but it's
There's a skill gap now.
yeah, there's a
Slightly.
skill gap. It's not hard to control the guns, and that being said, though, it's not about controlling and keeping them level. It's about like how good are you at like grouping? How well can you group your shots, right? Which is like how you would shoot a gun in real life, right? It's like how good are your groupings, right? So, I don't know, which gun do you want to see?
Shit, AK, why not?
AK, okay. 47 or 74?
47.